I was reading some Alterna comics the other day. This is Canon in the Clouds, and they're good. They're good comics. I was surprised. I thought, I kind of thought that people were just, they're talking up Alterna comics, and I thought, oh yeah, whatever, $1.50, how good can they be? They're just being nice to Peter Simeti because the dude is such a nice guy, and he doesn't. I guess he doesn't want his employees using blockchains against anyone really, just because you follow, I don't know, Ethan Van Sciver or Diversity in Comics. These comic book professionals would block you, and when you think about it, why the guy's got like 40,000 followers. In total, there's probably 50,000 followers on Twitter who are following Comicsgate people, and so if you're blocking those people, well, if they find out they're blocked, they're not going to buy your books. How would you feel? If I would never buy someone's product if I found out they blocked me because I followed someone. Because I believe in free speech, free expression. Of course I do. And the idea that someone doesn't believe in that, and they have to live in such a sheltered echo chamber, it's just bizarre to me. I don't want any part of that. And it would definitely poison whatever they were selling. It would poison for me. Anyway, so I read this Canon in the Clouds, and I read some other alternative books. And they were all good. I mean, one was obviously for kids, and that wasn't for me. But I'm really surprised. Alterna feels like it's kind of a secret that not enough people know about. Okay, another little secret. These are chick tracts, and I love chick tracts. Mainly because I know this sounds weird, but I love propaganda. I don't care if it's socialist, communist propaganda, religious propaganda, advertising propaganda. I just love it. I love it. It's just so. It's like the people writing it, they know they're not fooling anyone, and the people reading it, they're not being fooled. But I just can't help myself. So this is a Halloween story. So let's read this for Halloween. I know Nasser Rabadi is doing his 31 days of Halloween. So I assume that means he's he sits in his car and he eats lunch on camera. And he eats on camera, just eating, close up of him eating food. I mean, people watch it just to see how horrible it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's a great writer, and he's got a lot of balls, a lot of heart, and I respect him for standing up to the Comicsgate professionals. But food streams, probably not, unless you're like a beautiful 18-year-old blonde with big jugs, doing a sample pack or something, opening foods from around the world. Unless you've got big boobs, you probably don't want to eat on camera. Anyway, check out Nasser Rabadi, even though he did block me on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so the kid says, I love this story. You rented the whole place for only $50? Yeah, man, it's for our class Halloween party. Everybody who's anybody from Salem High will be here. Stephen King story. Charles, I know why you got this place so cheap. Why? Because last Halloween, 13 people were murdered here. What? Gasp. Did they get the killer? They riddled him with bullets, but couldn't find his body. He must be dead. Then there's nothing to worry about. The gang should be here by dark. Boy, have I got a surprise for them. Carrie, another Stephen King book, will sacrifice a cat to Satan at midnight. What a way to end the party. Whoa, this story got dark real quick. The Great Pumpkin. They're coming to celebrate my birthday. Rats, I forgot my chainsaw. Oh, mighty Satan, we sacrifice this cat to you on your birthday. People really sacrifice kitties? That's not nice. I don't want the cat as my sacrifice. I want Carrie. Not if she's PMSing. He's killing everybody. Help. Yeah, no. Oh, he found his chainsaw. Nice. I mean, if you're gonna slaughter people, I would want to do it with a chainsaw myself. I mean, they cut through wood, so I assume they go right through bone. Chief, there's another massacre going down at Camp Beelzebub. I didn't catch that the first time. Beelzebub. Oh no, it's the same killer. We'll need an army. 40 minutes later, after you got done chainsawing the chillins, you're next. Die, you fiend. He takes off the pumpkin helmet. It's the devil himself. Well, is the pumpkin head gear any more scary than the face of Satan himself? He's vanished. We've already got 19 dead, which is funny because 19 is also a significant number in Stephen King books. He must be on his way to the village. May the saints preserve them. That little creep, Satan is looking in the window, is praying when it's party time. As the kid is praying, Satan. The Lord rebuke you, Satan. Submit yourself therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. I hate you, and I hate your lousy birthday. See, I did not know Halloween was the birthday of the devil. Pastor, is Halloween really Satan's birthday? No, Joey. He was created in heaven. His name was Lucifer, the morning star, the fallen star, Venus. He was a beautiful creature who guarded God's throne. Guarded God's throne from whom? Then he rebelled against God and was kicked out of heaven. About a third of the angels rebelled too and were kicked out with him. They became demons, and Lucifer became Satan. So how bad can these demons be if they were kicked out of heaven? I mean, they were in heaven in the first place. So, I mean, are they just a little bad? I mean, I don't know much about this, but it seems like if they were in heaven in the first place, they couldn't really be totally corrupt. That's the thing I don't understand about Lucifer is how could he be... He's portrayed as being so evil, but if he was in heaven, then I kind of get the feeling that he's maybe kind of got a bad rap. Maybe he's not as evil as people are saying. But I don't know. If you listen to this and you know anything about this, you can set me straight in the comments. Who kicked him out of heaven, Pastor? He's creator of the Lord Jesus Christ. Satan hates that name. Satan is alive and well and is busy destroying mankind. He and his demons know their time is short. They're afraid of Christ because he created a lake of fire for them, but Satan wants everybody to fry in hell with him. Unfortunately, he'll get most of them. He's a master deceiver, and Halloween is just one of his tricks. Good to know. Kids love Halloween because it's fun and scary. No, they love it because they get candy. And that used to be important 20, 30 years ago. But I don't know, about 30 years ago, Halloween just kind of died. It's kind of sad to see. They have no idea what's behind this celebration. Satanists and witches, Halloween is no joke. It's their most solemn ceremony of the year. I thought that was a winter solstice, the longest day of the year, somewhere around Christmas. I don't know. These holidays, kind of, Christianity meets with the Scandinavian holidays, and they all kind of meld together. As we get closer to the second coming of Christ, Satanism will increase, so will human sacrifices. Halloween started in the British Isles, so that's an interesting Freudian slip. With the Druids, these guys were really spooky. No argument for me. October 31st was a night of terror called Samhain. That night, the Druids went house to house taking victims for human sacrifice. In exchange for the victim, they left a jack-o'-lantern, which was supposed to protect the home from death demons that night. Whoa. People, you know how terrifying it must have been, even just 100 years ago, if you lived on a farm and you were miles from a neighbor and you had no communication, if you wanted to get to neighbor, 100 years ago, you might have a car, but a lot of people were using horses and horse-drawn carriages. So if you had a problem and you want to go into town, you're taking your Model A or your horse into town. It's easy to believe in demons and ghosts and witches, even 100 years ago when, oh my God, you might not even have electricity. You're on a farm, you're on a ranch, you're away from everybody. You hear the mountain lions screaming in the woods. You hear the coyotes, the wolves, the bears. It's definitely easy to believe that a hole between the worlds can be opened on certain times of the year when you live away from other people and you don't have these means of communications. Nowadays, that kind of mysticism has kind of gone away a little bit. Kind of sad. The Lord hates Halloween and its evil origins. Satanic human sacrifices are slapping God's face. They're mockery. Satan hates the message and blocks it every chance he gets. He's blinding people's minds to the truth. Don't read this part, trust me. Sin stops everyone from going to heaven. God in his perfect love provided the way. See John 14:6. This is the only part of the Bible I remember. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever so believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. Because I remember in there's just science fiction books. The guy who wrote Ender's Game, Oh, I forget the guy's name. He's not politically correct nowadays, but he was a great science fiction author. He wrote a whole series of Ender's Game and a bunch of other books. But he used that quote in the book, John 3:16. And then in the 90s, I read that book probably in the 80s. And then in the 90s, this Stone Cold Steve Austin, people in the audience would use a hold-up signs that said Austin 3:16. So I think a lot of people probably looked at it like, what is Austin 3:16? And then they investigated John 3:16, and then it probably investigated what the New Testament's all about. Anyway, but if you're a dummy and go with Satan, hey guys, welcome to the laughing place. You rat! I don't think anyone's laughing down there. Anyway, happy Halloween. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. I will see you all next episode.